Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and welcome to the very first late night comic show. I'm going to start doing these every week. This is totally a prototype show. We might play around with the format quite a bit. I might do a different day of the week. I might set a different time. But basically, my schedule just kind of required me to have a different kind of show. I can't do a lot of live streams during the day for various reasons, so I decided to do a late night stream. Hopefully, that means that I pick up some night owls, and we get some different people in here than normal, or some international viewers maybe. Would be great. I love seeing people from other countries interact with the channel. This could be a total bust this first time. Maybe nobody actually joins into the show. We'll just have to wait and see. So right now it's 10 p.m. Pacific time, which means it's 1 a.m. Eastern time. So unless you're an absolute night owl on the East Coast, you're probably not in here checking this stuff out right now, which is totally fine. This is definitely a different format. It's gonna be a different kind of show. I have some cool plans for what I'm gonna do with the show. Today, we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that's been happening. So that's going to be kind of, if you've followed my channel for a while and you know that I do the nerd news segments, and I've kind of gone away from that a little bit, just because those turned out to either be one long video that not a lot of people were watching, or really short videos that were really hit or miss. So I think I'm going to roll in the nerd news, like the topics of the week, with what's going on in this show. So I'm going to basically cover nerd news in this show. I'm going to probably kind of create some cool, overlays and graphics and stuff like that. I'll be working on that the next week. And hopefully we get some exciting stuff going on. Do you see we have a few people rolling in now, which is really awesome. I won't just be talking to myself the whole time. But welcome to the show. So yeah, we're going to try to do some cool new things with this. I'm also going to try to have maybe some edgier topics, since it is kind of that late night theme. We'll talk about some cool stuff like that. And then just unboxings, stuff that I do throughout the week anyway. And it kind of lets me on those other shows I do throughout the week, like the pre-recorded videos and stuff, kind of focus on some meatier content. So hopefully people enjoy that. Hey, not so international here, but close. Canada, as always. So Station, what's up, man? Well, I appreciate you coming in, GT. I really do. I mean, Canada is international. Some people make the joke it's the 51st state. I always think that kind of dynamic's a little funky. I love Canada. I love all the stuff that Canada has been nice enough to share with us down here in the South throughout the years. But welcome to the show. Like I said, as people are still kind of rolling in here, this is going to be definitely more of a low-key show. Eventually we'll have guests and do all that kind of cool stuff too. I do have some unboxings we'll do. I got a couple unboxings here from Economics and Comics. Got the new Gemini mailer box, and I got a old school Gemini mailer probably in there. So we'll get to those. I think I'll just get started on the news, and boy, what bigger news is there to talk about today than the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropping? Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. And yeah, so there's not many people in here, so feel free to be interactive and talk, ask questions. I'll talk about anything you guys want to ask about. But yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home, that was an amazing trailer. If you were paying attention to the CD corners of the internet yesterday, there was some leaked footage that came out. Hey, what's up, SG? How's it going? Appreciate you stopping by, man. So we had a leaked footage. It was basically like somebody recorded a phone that recorded a phone that recorded a phone. They recorded a GoPro of somebody's cousin's, uncle's, brother's dog of a Far From Home trailer. And people were pulling out all kinds of crazy details from that. Maybe if I watched it on a full screen monitor, I may have picked more out of it, but I was just watching on my phone, and man, I didn't see much that was going on. Yeah, definitely a nice thing to finally get an HD 4K version of that trailer. Well, I'm trying to make the hobby pay for itself is a big part of that, Lotor. And definitely investing now to bank on the future, to pay off any comics I get, and then also to go after the comics that I'm truly going after. And you're starting to see that kind of come to fruition. I'm doing that series, Running Down Xavier's Dream, which is about trying to complete my run, and of X-Men, and trying to get all those comics, essentially 1 through 300, but realistically more like 100 through 300 is kind of what I'm trying to focus on. And even that isn't easy. You know, I have comics like 101 and 129 going absolutely parabolic. But you know, ideally I've made some good decisions, and I'll get to kind of move forward on buying some of those. And I have a video. My birthday is on September 6th. And my plan is to have either a live stream or recorded video go up around that time, hopefully on my birthday, but I'll have to kind of see what that looks like. And talk about the next kind of chunk of X-Men books that I've got through a few different sources. So let me get your views, opinions, spec on Tinion's Substack, please. Yes, everyone's been kind of asking me about this, and I will get to that. GT, I'm gonna kind of finish talking about No Way Home a little bit and what I'm doing here. But you know, I'm gonna say hi to everybody and then kind of get back to that. You let me know if I forget, because you know, when you're live, sometimes you forget what people are talking about. Hey, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it, brother. Birthday us? Probably a typo there. Are you saying we have the same birthday or something? Oh, okay, September 11th. Okay, so yeah, you're really close. That's funny. My daughter and my dad's birthday are both 1 week later on the same day. So that's kind of funny. I know a lot of September people crop up. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Warlock? Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Figure Drawing. So yeah, we're going to talk about No Way Home for a little bit. So yeah, again, that terrible video quality leaked trailer that cost somebody their job appeared yesterday. So I watched about half of it on my phone and I just gave up. I just did not want to try to watch that video and miss out on all those details. All right, cool, GT. I'm glad you're being patient about that, but I will talk about it. So anyways, we got the 4K nice trailer, and boy, that looked cool. You know, I've really enjoyed Tom Holland's take on Spider-Man, or you know, at least the stories being told. I liked Homecoming a lot more than Far From Home. I also am starting to get a little tired of the naming scheme. I think they're committing to that maybe a little too much. Hey, Ron, well, I'm glad it can be entertaining, or try to be entertaining. And I just really appreciate everybody that popped in here. Thank you. I was actually kind of sweating this. Like, was I just going to have like me talking to myself? So I'm glad some people dropped on, jumped on even, we'll call that. I do appreciate that. But yeah, I want to know what everybody thought about the Spider-Man trailer. You know, here I am trying to talk about it as everybody jumps in, and I don't really know how everybody else feels about it. But honestly, like, I thought it looked cool. I really like the mashup of Doctor Strange and Spider-Man is always, you know, it's like a classic comic book mashup, and we're getting a little bit more of that, which is really cool. I guess I wish they showed a little bit more of the villain side of things. I mean, the kind of obvious rumor that's out there, which makes total sense, is we're getting Sinister Six. Maybe some little diciness on that lineup, but I mean, we've known forever that Alfred Molina is jumping on. Obviously, we got to look at Pumpkin Bomb, and there's a lot of debate. Hey, is that Green Goblin or is that Hobgoblin? I personally think it's Green Goblin. I think for this movie, they're going to stick to the roots. Okay, you thought it was sick? Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know if like what the general reaction was. I wanted to see more, but at the same time, I also don't want to see any more. Like, I may go. It's really hard being like, you know, a YouTuber and covering this stuff and not watching this stuff. But I used to love going blackout on trailers. Like, I'd watch the teaser and then I wouldn't watch any other trailers for like Star Wars or other movies. And I did, you know, usually pretty well with that, kind of hit or miss. But I don't want to, like, all these modern trailers, they're like little mini movies and they spoil so much. This one was a great teaser, and I agree with that, but I worry that the next ones aren't going to do that. But I did kind of want to see the villain lineup a little bit more. But anyways, I'll get to the meat and the potatoes here. So here's my prediction. Venom 2 keeps getting pushed, and you know, there's obviously a lot of stuff going on in the world. studios want to get their money out of a movie from theatrical because they obviously don't make as much streaming because you have a family of 8, that just buys the rental for the movie, and that's one purchase. Obviously they charge a little bit more, but it doesn't make up anywhere near the same. And there's some people that don't do that, and they're just going to wait to buy it when it releases digitally or physical or whatever. So it makes total sense why studios are hesitant to release stuff with everything going on. And it's obviously been a big deal, with Black Widow. Now there's a lawsuit with Scarlett Johansson, and there's all that stuff. But Venom 2 keeps getting pushed, right? My theory is that, and I'm not the only one that says this. This isn't like a groundbreaking theory here. I guarantee, I feel very confident that the Sony Spider-Man extended stuff is going to cross over with the MCU, whether that's the MCU kind of going over to the Sony stuff or it's the Sony stuff coming over to the MCU. I think when you have the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, you've got, obviously they're hinting at that in this movie. They obviously hinted at it in Loki. Not hinted at it, like teased it, right? And I think Venom 2, like I could just totally see the teaser in the trailers, right? The little post-credit scene. I could totally see to be in that, like a Venom, maybe we think he dies at the end of Venom 2 and he shows up in the MCU universe, which what's the MCU universe? Is it like 1614 or something? I can't even remember. I'm sure I'm way off. Whatever number that is. I have a feeling that's gonna happen. We're gonna see some kind of crossover. And like Kraven is coming to Sony, like then that's how they could bring Kraven in as one of the Sinister Six. We haven't seen Sandman yet. I don't think there's even been any like real Easter eggs about Sandman, but I really hope we get the original lineup for the Sinister Six personally. I mean, that's, I'd love to see that. It sounds like we're going to have a lot of the classics, so that's good. But anyways, I think it looked awesome. I'm excited for it. I like Tom Holland's portrayal. Is it Earth 199,999? Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember which one it is. Well, since you seem to know, do you happen to know what the Sony one is? Okay, cool. Sand Plume was in the trailer next to Electro Lightning. Awesome. Yeah, and I don't think I mentioned that. That's the other thing is obviously Jamie Foxx coming in as Electro. Okay, that might be what I was thinking of. So yeah, I mean, we knew about that. There's obviously all the not so secrets about Spider-Man returning as Spider-Man. So, all right, cool. Thank you, man. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of hype for a Sinister Six on screen. We've kind of seen Sony was trying to build to that for a long time. Always introducing multiple Spider-Man villains in every movie, it seemed like. Yeah, so it's exciting. I think that there's a lot to be excited for the future of Spider-Man. I know there's also rumors now that Marvel Disney is trying to buy Spider-Man away from Sony. So I think there's a lot to be said for, obviously they want all those characters under the same banner. And speaking of banner, that's another one too. There's even some rumors they're going to make a standalone Hulk film, which they haven't been able to do. Like they can feature Hulk in other characters' movies, but they can't make a titled Hulk movie without Paramount. I can't remember the studio, without somebody, signing off on it, and kind of similar to how they signed off with Sony and Spider-Man. But anyways, MCU rights, Marvel rights, man, that stuff's confusing. There's a lot to it. But I think we're all excited as fans to see the next chapter, next thing to step forward for the MCU here. I mean, obviously it was kind of on pause for so long. And then we have things that were getting released, kind of out of sequence from how they originally were intended. And it kind of shows with like what happened in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Black Widow. Kind of just felt a little jarring with everything we've seen so far in a few instances. But man, it's a great time to be a Marvel fan, great time to be a comic book movie and TV show fan. I mean, I just say movies, but now we have What If, and we've had some great shows with Loki and everything coming out. So super exciting. So yeah, other stuff than that, just kind of, since we have more people in here now, just recap real fast what I'm doing with this show. Just trying to do something a little bit different. Like I said, my day job, which is being a full-time dad right now, and looking for work, doesn't allow for me to have my kiddo running around here and do streams during the daytime. So I'm kind of doing these late night streams as just trying something I'm trying to test out here, test the waters, and hopefully, you know, this works out and we can kind of do this. I think it'd be a cool thing to do. Hopefully people watch this on the replay too. So if you're watching this on the replay, it doesn't matter that you weren't here live for it. I still appreciate you watching. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. So doing these shows, you know, like I said, I will have more stuff coming to future installments of the show. I might play around with the day. I might play around with the time a little bit. If you guys have like specific late night times for the West Coast that you'd prefer that I stream, let me know. I think 9:30 is about as early as I can really jump on reliably. Other than that, I'm putting my daughter to bed, and my wife's usually working nights or something like that, so it doesn't really work out. There's nobody to put her to bed, and she's 2, so she can't put herself to bed. So right on, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad people seem to be kind of down with the concept. I know you have some people today were like, oh man, I'd watch if I could, you know. I totally get it. I get it. Everybody else, you know, kind of is on that normal day schedule, or early evening at least, for both coasts. And that's a lot more preferable, of course, but hey, you know, hopefully this is a fun thing to do. Something different, right? Like not a lot of people are doing late night comic book streams. But I will kind of roll the old bronze new, nerd news segments and kind of some of the bronze bias segments into this show. So hopefully we can kind of, you know, have those kind of cool conversations about comics and all that kind of stuff. But I did threaten to do some unboxings, so we'll do that. If you do have any questions, you do have any topics you want brought up, I remember now GT wanted to talk about Substack. See if I can find that comment. Here we go. So the reason I haven't done a video is because I know the general idea, but I'm not like well versed in what's going on yet. I've just had some other stuff going on. So from what I know so far, I've seen a lot of opinions on this too. You know, I've seen more takes on it than the actual meat and potatoes of what's going on. I know Tinian did a interview or is doing an interview pretty soon, kind of answering some questions about that. Let's see what I saw on that real fast. And I'd planned on watching this on Renovision. What is Substack? Tinian and Hickman exclusive comic service. Check it out. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this wasn't a Tinian interview, but I think they covered it in some kind of cool detail. And so, yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out more about it. I'm gonna educate myself. So you're just gonna get my from the hip kind of opinion on it. That's the moral of the story. Basically, I think it's fine. It reminds me in a lot of ways of what happened in the 90s with Image. And I think the results could be similar. Now, I know it's not the same thing, but I'm talking about creators splitting off and wanting to be a little bit more independent and try something new. And I think that's what we're seeing a little bit with Substack. I think, like Image, I have a prediction that's totally just based on my opinion, like just my feel of what's going to happen, which means nothing. That we're probably not going to see content that we're all super excited about. But I bet you there'll be like 1 or 2 gems or diamonds in the rough or whatever that come out of this, probably from Tinian, just because he's firing on all cylinders as far as I'm concerned. Like, his Batman stuff's probably the worst stuff he's done, and that's still pretty awesome to me. I like it. I know some people aren't as hot on it, but I'm just a mega fan of something that's killing the children. So obviously, Department of Truth is amazing. You know, I think the guy's doing a lot of really great work and has done a lot of great work. Those are just kind of his big hits, obviously. But if he goes ahead with this, and you know, obviously there's a lot of other creators involved too. Hickman, a lot of people. I have a feeling we'll see some cool stuff. They're talking about like a shared universe. I did see something about that. There's like 3 creators that are doing a shared universe, and that's kind of where I get, you know, like those Image kind of flashbacks where what I was going to say was a lot of the Image stuff wasn't really that good. And you know, I'm sure there's people that loved it, but like I think most of us, looking back on it, agree that it was either great art and not great stories, which might be kind of the opposite of what this is, with a lot of great writers going to the platform, and what I'll get to here in a second with figure drawings bringing up. But what about artists? Everybody keeps asking about that. I mean, with these kind of writers going over there, artists will follow. I've heard Stegman's following. I don't know if that means exclusivity or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be over there. So they'll attract great artists, at least some of the time, but they might not attract them all the time or have them for a full run. But I'm down for any good stories. Like, I think, because again, I might be ignorant of the situation here, but from what I understand, they're going digital first, and everything is going to be followed up with a print. I don't know if that's only collected in trades or if they're actually doing single floppies or raw copies or whatever you want to call it. And if that's the case, I think a lot of people are upset about that. From what I've seen, kind of in a somewhat similar reaction to what like Bad Idea had going on, where it's like, what, I can't pre-order. And I was not a fan of Bad Idea, so I get it from that angle. A lot of people don't like digital. I read all my stuff digitally these days. And I know that is very divisive in the comic community. I love like hard copies of comic books too. I mean, I read them for 30 years, I absolutely love them. So I think that it's interesting. I'm more in favor of it probably than a lot of people that obviously don't read digital, or they refuse to read digital for various reasons. And I respect that opinion too. That's totally fine. I'm a big fan of reading digital. Like, I read a lot more comics now because of digital than I did as hard copies. Even when I was collecting trades, and I got tired of just getting all these trade paperbacks and just kind of amassing them. I got tired of collecting a bunch of paperbacks and books, and I had a lot of books. I had a lot of trades. So anyways, I think I'm okay with it as far as that goes. If you're against digital or you don't like it, obviously that's going to be a problem. But yeah, so let's dive into this a little bit here. I'm going to get caught up on the comments, and then I'll follow up with these other about Substack. Are you a fan of PCP Rockin' Robbie Billups? I thought for a second you were asking about the drug, which I'm not a fan of any kind of drugs that hard, generally speaking. But Rockin' Robbie Billups, I'm not familiar with that reference, so I'm not. Let me know if I should be. Late night streams rule. Hopefully they're candid, brutally honest. Thanks. I'm brutally honest for better or for worse. In my real life and on camera, that's how I am. I'm not always right. I can be wrong. And if I'm honest or adamant about something and I'm wrong, I'll try to apologize for it, or, correct that or retract that. But, that's just my style, man. Like, I don't care about being beholden to anybody except for you guys watching, like, as a whole, and what I'm trying to do with this channel and my own beliefs. That's just how I am. So I appreciate that. So yeah, the founder membership, that was offered, one signed 10 book and 6 variants, all exclusive to founding members. I mean, they're probably going to be worth something if the whole thing is successful. And I think that's a big if. I think the odds are 50-50. I think you're either going to be, going back to what I said, it reminds me of earlier, you're going to be either going back to the first image, or, sorry, not the first image, but you're going to be going back to kind of what Image did, where now Image is obviously still around and a major player in the industry. Not necessarily with the same lineup of creators, of course, but that's kind of to be expected. Or you're looking at the next Bad Idea. And Bad Idea books made a lot of speculators a lot of money. I don't know if that's necessarily right, but there was a lot of buzz. It's artificial scarcity. It was hard to get Bad Idea books from us. Like, I couldn't buy Bad Idea books for the most part. Eventually, I was able to get my hands on a few of them that were offered by comic shops and stuff like that. But for the most part, I couldn't, like, I didn't have an LCS that was offering it. They didn't let you order online. They weren't offering digital. They weren't offering trades. So that's kind of that artificial scarcity that obviously speculators and collectors jumped on, because you had copies of ENIAC #1 going for quite a bit. And that's kind of the big one. I know some of the other comics went for a little bit too. But that was the big one. So I really think it's interesting to think about what that's going to do. I personally don't like specking on that stuff. I think if you were going to spec on it, it would be for a short-term flip or a huge gamble on a long-time hold. You know, and as you guys have probably noticed if you're watching my channel, like spec has gotten insane to me, and I don't know that I really follow it anymore. I was watching Economics and Comics do a late night stream the other night, and I really respected something that he said, which is, any spec, people are asking, hey, what are you specking on? He said, pretty much anything I'm specking on right now, I already have, or it's already out. And that's kind of how I feel too. I'm looking for good deals out in the wild for stuff that's more, has a more proven track record. Like I actually don't like the term blue chip. I'm not a big fan of that, but people talk about, oh, it's a blue chip key. It's a blue chip key. Well, blue chip stocks change all the time. Blue chip keys, there's blue chip keys. If you watch like ETA Nick on YouTube, he does a really good job of explaining that there's blue chip keys like from the golden age and stuff that went down over the last year. So I wouldn't call everything a blue chip. I wouldn't say everything's a super safe spec. And also, I personally believe the comic collecting market is safe for the time being. But I don't necessarily think it's, like that meteoric parabolic rise we've seen, right? I think that's plateauing and in some cases dipping, depending on the era, depending on the book. You have to have a solid understanding. If family members had to fork over $250, I honestly, like, I would say more if you're a fan of Tinian, so you don't mind holding on to the stuff, and you kind of want it to spec on. Like, if you're in that kind of perfect Venn diagram, that's probably your best bet. So Figure Drawing says, in his opinion, Tinian is overestimating his worth. His Batman run was dope because of Jorge Jimenez. Is it Jorge Jimenez or George Jimenez? I don't know which pronunciation he goes. I'm going to say Jorge just because I'm not sure. And that to me is probably the right pronunciation, I'm guessing. I hate that with comic book creators' names because you rarely hear them spoken out loud. Like I've heard Tinian and Tinian. I think it's Tinian, but I could be wrong. But yeah, if I'm mispronouncing that and it's really bugging you, I totally understand, and I'll try to learn those. But as far as overestimating his worth, I don't know, man. Like, I personally think Tinian's the best writer in the game right now. So he's probably not overestimating his worth to me. Then again, I'm not doing the founder thing, but that's mostly because I don't want to spend $250 on modern spec right now in one place. It's like putting all your eggs in one basket. Wesley says that the band is a man of integrity. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. That's somebody who's known me for a very long time. So I definitely try to call things like I see them. Buddy, I'm sorry. What yell the shows for TV from the writers from Bad Idea? What is that a typo? What's going to sell as the shows for TV? Like, I think you're talking about Bad Idea basically was a launching platform for optioning, right? I think that's what you mean. And if that's what you mean, I agree. I think that was part of it, but I think that they hoped that they were going to be kind of have their cake and eat it too. You remind me of Robbie, and he has one of the best comics movies channels on YouTube. He's a good guy. Oh, cool. I'll check him out, man. Thanks for sharing his channel. That's awesome. I will definitely check it out. So it's PCP is the name of the channel, or do you want to post the name of the channel? You probably can't post a link, but if you just want to type out the name of the channel, I'll definitely go check it out. You're right with the pronunciation on Jorge Jimenez and Tinian. I really don't know, man. Hopefully I'm good on both. It always bugs me when people pronounce character names wrong too. But creator names, and I try to get it right, but sometimes I get it wrong. How dare you? You drifted off? Were you dreaming about me at least? I hope you were dreaming about me. I hear I'm pretty dreamy. No, I don't. No, it's all good, man. Yeah, I totally understand the typos and stuff. I was just trying to make sense of it. Hopefully I got it right. Let me know if I got it wrong. But yeah, you guys, hopefully I dovetailed back to everything we started talking about. Like I said, I'm going to do those unboxings for Economics and Comics stuff that I got. So if you want to watch that, keep watching. hopefully you'll keep watching anyway. If you've made it this far, hopefully you're in for the long haul. Should we do this, the small package, the Gemini, they're both Gemini mailers, the regular Gemini mailer or the large box Gemini mailer? Which one should we do first? You guys get to decide. Do you like it small or do you like it large? Hey, this is a late night show. We should do whatever we want, right? Pop culture philosophers. All right, guys. So if you're not familiar with that channel, go check them out. Figure Drawing's a pretty cool person and I trust them. So go ahead and check them out. If it's okay, can I get your reaction to Comics Elite's reaction video to your initial No More Comics Elite orders video? Your reaction, his reaction, please and thank you. Ooh, okay. So that's a big topic. So and Sean says small. So Sean likes it small, so we'll go with the small one first. Yeah, to be honest, I don't like talking about it that much. Here's what I'll say. I think I did some miscalculations in how I made that first video. In hindsight's always 2020. And that's mostly because so I got to explain this. Here's the deal. I made that video trying to understand the perspectives of Comics Elite. And if you guys have been watching my channel, you may have realized that by now. Like, I always try to play devil's advocate in any situation. Like, I'm a big believer in logic. I'm a big believer in trying to break apart an argument. And I don't always succeed at it. I'm not perfect. But I'm a big believer in trying to break apart an argument so that my belief in it can be tested. Kind of a scientific method kind of approach, right? Like a trial. So you got the Gemini mailer, you got the bubble wrap packet on a Gemini mailer. That's a pretty good way to ship. Economics of Comics shipping is always on point. Not a sponsor, kind of a friend, but in the community, but I'm just more of a fan of his channel. And he's been nice enough to support me a little bit, but honestly, guy ships really good stuff. So if you guys are interested in the quality of your comics, that's a good place to go. And that's another thing that got brought up in that video a lot. And I will briefly touch on that. I wish I hadn't brought that stuff up. I wish I hadn't brought up any of the stuff that happened on that kind of personal level or the subjective stuff at the end of the video. And that's what I said when I did my slab unboxing, because I finally got those and I did a video where I unboxed those. And yeah, like, I just wish I hadn't brought that up, just to be honest. Like, I wish I'd kind of kept it to the facts of the situation. And again, in hindsight, this is all in hindsight. Like, I don't regret making the video. I made it. I thought it was good at the time. By the way, when I made that video, he even points it out in the reaction. Yeah, I watched the reaction video. He even points it out. Like, my videos were getting like 200 views a video. That video got thousands of views. I wasn't making it for thousands of people. Like, I in hindsight, I should have made it differently, definitely. But I made it for like those 200 people who are regularly watching my videos, and they'd kind of been following along. I felt like, or maybe that was my misinterpretation of the situation. So because of that, I would have made that video a little bit differently. And I think that my honest opinion about it is that I respect Sean as a business owner. I respect that he's a veteran. And those are things that, I wish I could have kept out of it. That said, it was his choice to, make a reaction video to that. His reaction video was 5 times longer than my video, which I think is a little overkill. And I think it was pretty defensive, but hey, that's his right. And I would have personally handled it differently if I felt the way he felt. I felt like a little bit of it was ticky-tacky on points I was making, trying to discredit what I was saying. That's just how I felt at the time. Since then, like I've said, I've kind of changed my perspective a little bit, and I definitely would have made a different video. I would have shown more examples of the damages, but like here's the thing. I wasn't trying to make some kind of like brutal attack video towards them at all or anything like that. Like I was just trying to say, like, I've been recommending these guys. I've been talking about how you should go there and do your FOC orders there. And just like I was having bad interaction after bad interaction after bad interaction. I was talking to them, emailing them, you know, getting stuff fixed, but it was, you know, there's some stuff you just can't fix, right? Like, and when orders start shipping so late, you know, I couldn't keep doing it. I couldn't deal with it anymore. But yeah, the reaction to the reaction, like that's the opinion he had. Like, I didn't want to keep dragging it out. I didn't want to like make a reaction to the reaction video. Again, I didn't do it to like, I don't know if you guys know this or get this, but I'm not trying to become a huge YouTuber. Like, that's not my goal. That's the goal of a lot of YouTubers. And that's probably smarter than what I'm doing. But I'm just on here trying to talk about my journey in comic books, what I like, my take on things, to be honest. And why I really started doing this channel is just to like have a social and creative outlet, especially during the pandemic and lockdown as it was happening and stuff like that. And also to learn how to do like video and editing and, SEO and all this other stuff as skills for myself. So that's why I started doing this. And yeah, definitely, would have made that video different. Like, I don't regret having made it. I just regret everything that was in it. I wanted to keep it a lot more logical, a lot more, even keeled, which is, I thought that's what I was doing. That's the thing. Like, I was trying to like, you know, again, play devil's advocate. Like, hey, I get this is happening. This is probably why, but like, I just can't deal with it. It's kind of the tone I was going for. But as I always have, I've quoted this several times. There's a great mentor I had that talked about intent versus impact. Like, what I intended was not the impact that had on a lot of people. And that, you know, whenever that happens, whenever there's a major disparity in intent versus impact, I think it's worth unpacking a little bit. And I think it's worth analyzing what mistakes might've been made. But all that said, a lot of people on that video, and this is something I made in my comment to Sean, because he replied to the video before he made his video, which is very much like, thanks for constructive criticism. We want to try to fix any issues and try to get better. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing big time. My response to that was, thank you. Hopefully you check out the other comments in this video of people who've had other issues, because there are a lot of people who are coming forward with issues I wasn't having. And I did not want to create or add to like a culture of negativity. But I did want to be critical. I wanted to think about it critically. And sometimes that's hard to do. And I kind of forgot what platform I'm on. Like, there's a lot of drama on YouTube that I don't really want to buy into. So that's kind of what happened. So that's kind of my general thoughts. I'm sure people are saying some stuff, so I'm not going to see what people are saying. Let's finish off large. Comic chameleon, which I have to say slowly or else I get it wrong every time. Hey, I want to let you know, bro, you've been so awesome to me and you really helped me in my life in this field. There's not many good comic behind out here, and you're one of them. I'm assuming like comic creators. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen some photos, Sean, like even one or two you shared where it looked like their shipping got better, and that's awesome. I don't know if it got lost in the shuffle, but part of what I said in that video was I was hoping that those problems got resolved with Comics Elite so I could go back to ordering from them, and that was totally true. So that's still true. And I'm ready for my boxers, bro. Oh, are you? I don't know what that means, man. Like, you're ready for your boxers, bro. Okay. I don't get that one. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm too tired. How's your video been different? Hopefully I've been explaining that. Let me know. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I'll talk about it because people asked about it, but I am very happy to be done with the ordering I was doing from them and move on from it. It's not part of what, you know, that's not what the kind of channel I want to have. No, I mean, even on a stream the other night, like, he was talking about how they're still good. So I think everything's fine. Once again, the entire comic book community, me included, greatly appreciate your honesty and candor. Thank you. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. I try. Like I said, I'm not always going to be popular because I'm doing this in a very specific way, like where I want to be honest. I want to be true to myself. I'm very careful about any kind of collaborative efforts I make with businesses or with other channels or anything like that. And I'm trying really hard to stay as objective as possible and also freely admit that there's biases built in, not only to me, myself and my opinions and everything, but also just being on the medium I am and all this kind of stuff. So I'm aware of that. I try to balance it out. I try to play devil's advocate. Devo Barrow, speculation on books is burning me out, to be honest. It's fun, but it's coming to a head in my opinion. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I know some people that are extremely burnt out. And it's really too bad. It's really sad. Oh, okay. So you wanted to buy the short box. Okay, yeah, cool. We'll hit me up on Instagram, man. And we'll talk about that some more for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I said we're gonna do an unboxing. Let's do it. I already got the box open for a while ago, but that was a question I wanted to talk about and wanted to approach. A lot of people have asked me about it. I don't really want to talk about it a lot just because I don't want to be a place that's just dramatic. Not my goal. All right, so this got delayed, I believe, because it was part of another order. Marvel Voices Pride. I believe this is a first appearance of this character and their first cover. It's been so long now that I'm a little shaky on that. But this was a 1 in 10 maybe. So yeah, and probably a pretty low ordered book would be my guess. He threw in a Suicide Squad Free Comic Book Day King Shark. That's really cool. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Hey, there you go. Free comic book for Free Comic Book Day. Isn't that awesome? Considering so many fucking shops are selling comic books on Free Comic Book Day, like selling the free comic books. And then these are the silk variants from a while ago. I believe these got delayed and then they got damaged, I think. But I got the set. So you have the trade dress and the Virgin. God, if there's one thing, I was happy to get this cover. I think this is a sweet cover. If there's one thing I wish would change about that model of exclusives and all that stuff, it's get rid of this whole like order 3,000 of the trade dress and 1,000 of the Virgin. I fucking hate that. Personally, like some comics look better with the trade dress, and that's totally fine. By the way, there's nothing wrong with trade dress as long as it's done well. But that's just an awesome cover. So. Yeah, so that's cool. A nice little shipment there. That's the smaller box. And we'll get on to the big box here, which is what she said. Are you compelled more by great art in comics or great writing? Comics is a great question. To me, comics are a visual medium first. So it's kind of like a good book cover. And I don't just mean a comic book. I mean like a novel or whatever. The cover art that's going to draw you in. And then if the writing sucks, I mentioned Image earlier, right? Like there was some great art in some of those Image books, but the story sucked. So am I going to follow for more than a couple issues? Only if the writing's great. And like I'll say this, like Something is Killing Children is a book, I'm obsessed with now. It's my favorite, like kind of modern ongoing book. And I think I like the story better than the art in that book, and I'm often drawn to story more, but ideally they're in tandem. You want them to kind of work together and go together. There's also a lot of art that really turns me off. And I don't want to like name negative stuff right now or talk about, certain artists I don't like or whatever. And to be honest, I probably couldn't name a lot of them off the top of my head, but I'll look at it and be like, ugh, I just don't like the art, right? Like I like very detailed, highly detailed, highly not realistic necessarily, but just fine detail work. You know, Jim Lee, Tony Daniel. But I like some of the more stylized stuff too. Like I like J. Scott Campbell. I love comic art, but they have to go together. Cool. Hopefully I hit something there. I'm not even sure now what that was reaction to, but I'm glad it fired on 3 thumbs up. Yeah, it was cool. That's a sick cover for sure. It was a Pride cover. Yep, the Pride cover. Yeah. Given a choice, I choose art. Yeah, probably me too. It depends though. It depends. Like that's a really fascinating question. A lot of it depends on the writing and the artist. Like there's probably like there's well-written stories that I don't like. Like, okay, you guys want some blasphemy? Like I said, so I've been reading a lot of digital comics, right? And there's a lot of stuff that I missed in the 90s. And I'm going back now and reading it. Peter David's Immortal Hulk run, or not Immortal, Peter David's Incredible Hulk run. You know, kind of the meat and potatoes of it, like Future Imperfect and all that stuff. Like I went back and read that, and I hadn't read it originally when it came out. I will say, like, he writes well. I don't like it. I don't like the writing in that. You know, and I'm actually drawn to the art more in that book than I am the writing. The overall story isn't good. And by the way, I felt the same way when I started reading like some of his X Factor run, because I'd read some of his X Factor run when I was like a teenager. And you know, Peter David's like a legend, right? Like I know that. I know a lot of people writing right now are like, you're freaking crazy, dude. He's a legend. Yeah, he is. And respect to you if you like what he did. I just that particular part of those runs I read or whatever, I didn't enjoy. So obviously it's, you know, it's highly specific to each creator and the story. And also, like, you know, I might not like a creator's take on a character or a title or whatever that everyone else just loves. I'm losing my mouse right here. Laraz is killing it. Yeah, absolutely. Or killing it. No, I'm just kidding. Typos happen, guys. It's okay. As long as I can understand what the message is. Alex Ross is amazing. Of course. Gonna push it on a few book titles that you really do not like. Well, you know, I just talked about Peter David, obviously, so I was just kind of answering that. You probably asked that before I said that. Do you mean current titles? Because like the truth is, because I read digitally, I wait for collected. You know, even though it's digital, they still do trades and stuff, like the digital version of the trade, and usually those are on sale or you get a better deal. So I usually wait for those. So I actually don't read a lot of like current stuff as it's coming out. So I couldn't really tell you like some current ones. If you just mean in general, I mean, there's like characters and stuff that I just have never been drawn to. Like I generally don't like Avengers books. Like I love the Avengers characters. I just don't generally like them. Yeah. And I mean, luckily, you know, this is like it's as old as time, right? Like people, they have their own things that they like or don't like. And everybody's different. And you know, like there's like, I love some trashy, terrible movies that are just like guilty watching pleasures for me, for example. Jimenez killing it on, yeah, absolutely. Like Joker War was pretty freaking cool. Absolutely. Pretty fucking cool. I don't know why I didn't say fucking. Okay, current. So yeah, I'll try to think about that. Hey Larissa, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Yeah, current stuff that I don't like, art and story. So the Immortal Hulk stuff, like I really like the story. I don't necessarily love the art when it gets, the art's fine when it gets to like the grotesque monsters and stuff. Like you know, it's probably intentional, but it's just kind of like, you know, like it's kind of gross looking, and I feel like that's intentional, of course. So you know, I mean, maybe I'm not open-minded enough about that, but I do actually really enjoy the Immortal Hulk run. It's maybe gotten a little long in the tooth, and I'm kind of glad it's ending. But yeah, that's definitely one I enjoy. So these Gemini mailer boxes are pretty cool, but I'm always really careful when I take books out of them. But they are cool for shipping about 20, 30 books or so with. Oh, you got people saying hi to each other. Awesome, awesome. Aegis, hey, what's up? How's it going? I'm glad you made it into one of the streams. That's awesome. Perio is king of sexy covers like Red Sonja and Vampirella. Yeah, I pretty much. The only reason I usually get Vampirella books is either Segovia covers or Perio covers. Also the Deja Thora stuff that Perio was doing was really cool. Swamp Thing's cool. Yeah, Swamp Thing's cool. I like Swamp Thing more than Man Thing. God, I just want to go back to that question real fast. The stories I don't like. It's just tough. I can't think of what would be a really good example of that. I'll try to think about that though. I'm interested in the upcoming Kate's take on Hulk, but I don't know that everyone loves to hate on Kate's right now because how Venom ended. And so my prediction would be if history repeats itself, the beginning of the new Hulk run is going to be insane and awesome. Everybody's going to get excited about it. There's going to be some hot new character or whatever. Yeah, do that or Cyclops Optic Blast It. That's one of my favorite ones. And so, yeah, cool. I'm glad everybody's saying hey to each other. But yeah, it's tough for me to think of a title that I really feel strongly about one way or the other. Okay, so this is an FOC kind of new comic book day order from Economics and Comics. That other one was it was an exclusive order. So I'll start off showing off some of these, and keep talking in the chat because I will definitely try to interact. Mirka and Dolfo is one of my favorite Aegis. There's some really cool Mirka covers that I really like, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen over there as well. There's a couple of the Unsacred covers that are a couple of my favorite covers that have come out in the last few years. Interested about Sweet Paprika. I haven't read it yet, but I definitely picked it up. I believe that. Like Iron Man is a character that on his own kind of tends to be boring every once in a while to me. May end up being oh, okay, that's cool. That'd be a neat take. Great idea, man. Get bored at times. Yeah. I think he gets an unnecessary amount of hate. But at the same time, I get it. Like, I think it's funny. Like, people are pretty critical on him, but at the same time, like, he's probably better than like 50-60% of the writers out there. So I think that he's probably pretty good. You dropped Iron Man. Yeah, I haven't read any of the newer Iron Man stuff. But yeah, these were the cool. Try to get the glare off there. The connecting covers. Oh, it's so hard to get the glare off there. What if I hold it back here? Is that better? Yeah, there we go. I need to get rid of. I got a new light. I need to get a better diffuser for it because it's too harsh. It's kind of a spotlight, but that is sick. Yeah, Future State Gotham issue 4. Just got the connecting covers there with Harley and Punchline, two of my favorite like current versus matchup that you see out there. That's really awesome. Yeah, I tried to read some of the Vampirella stuff and it's not good. Talk about a book I don't really enjoy the story of, but yeah, some of the covers are fantastic. Yeah, that's kind of what everybody thinks. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, I went like got the acetate for number 1 of that too, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. Yeah, not really. And I got 2 sets of those. So there's another set of Harley and Punchline. I cannot wait to see Harley and Punchline face off in a like a live action kind of setting. Even animated would be kind of fun. See, I got a cover for Children of the Atom 6. Let's see if I can find the ideal angle here for this. Like I said, I don't know if you guys remember the bronze bias format, but I used to have another camera set up, like a top down, and I'd put them on a table. Maybe I'll set up that for these if I do this in the future. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Clone Saga 29. I thought something big was going to happen in this issue. I didn't really hear much about it, but this is the one I think Mike Mayhew did like a sneakers variant for this, and then this cover had his costume down. So this must be before he ditched his old costume and went to the new one. Is that what happened? But some people were thought he might die or something. Dope X-Force 22 variant here. Just thought that was a cool cover. Again, trying to find the right. If I cover my face, that seems to work best. How about that? No. Trying it. Okay. um, Dynamite Lives #3 Linsner cover is nice. My favorite Linsner cover is probably it's one of the Deja Thoris ones he did, where it's basically Deja booty. But I also like the first Dawn cover is probably my favorite Linsner cover, going way back to his kind of origin. I get every cover for X-Men Legends that's not like a ratio or whatever. So there's X-Men Legends #6. I haven't read any of it yet. I'm so far behind. That's a sick Havoc cover. So if you guys don't know, my favorite character is Cyclops. So, kind of the Summers family in general. I really like Cable. I really like Havoc. Not so much the really like Gabriel and all that. I don't really, it's still cool, but Jean Grey, throw her in there. The action figure cover, I'm very particular on my action figure covers. I really like a lot of them, but only for the characters I truly dig. Got my A cover for Batman 89, which kind of turned out to be like a minor key, right? Like first the Robin from that universe. But I just love this movie. Like a lot of people my age, I'm 39, or going to be 39 here in a few weeks. A lot of people my age really probably fondly remember that movie quite a bit. Oh yeah. So yeah, you guys know that my girl is Punchline. I love her. Got the Dodson cover for Joker 6. I've been getting all the, like every single, Joker, I think. The #1, they all had Punchline covers and I tried to grab all those. I think Bermejo did a couple. Got my Frank Cho fix with Fight Girls #2. I went a little big on this one because this is a first new appearance of a guy whose name I've already forgotten, but it's a Star Wars first appearance, so you better grab it if you like specking on shit. Star Wars High Republic Monster of Temple Peak, plus kind of a cool cover too, really. Again, fighting the glare here, but kind of a neat cover. Yeah, I got another one of those. And then I got some more from Things from Another World too, I think. But I get their orders like once every, they're supposed to ship every month, so I get them like every 2 months. Star Wars High Republic #8. That's just the A cover, I think. Yeah. So there was the first new appearance of a character in 7. The new Darth, I believe. So I got a couple of 8 just thinking like, hey, it's gonna be a second appearance or maybe a first cover. Gonna kind of get caught up on some comments here. That was an awesome Miles cover. I love the OG Dawn stuff. Batman, Wonder Woman, and Joker. Yeah, I like Batman a lot for DC. I like Green Lantern, but I don't tend to like a lot of the stories. I just think it's a cool power. I like Power Girl. I like Supergirl. I like Batgirl. I like a lot of the, I hate to say this, but like the female replacement characters or extended family characters. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think when those characters were launched, that was a huge part of their intention. That's kind of why I say that. But I actually tend to enjoy those characters quite a bit. Yeah, and there's so many, like if you're a completist, oh God, like you're screwed, right? Like trying to buy all those, it's going to cost a lot of money. Okay, Aegis says, you guys are going to roast me for this, but really feel like an awesome hit for this year was all the covers and interior story for Man Goat and Bunny Man. Oh, I love the Man Goat and Bunny Man stuff. The one cover by Burns, I think. I got screwed out of that on an order from a retailer, but I missed out on that one. But the #3 cover with her in the foreground, and I mean it's just a hot TNA cover, right? And my wife even said, like, because I do booty cover of the week, right? And for that issue, I was like, is this booty cover of the week, or is this Red Sonja, Invincible Red Sonja cover, is that booty cover of the week? And she said, that first one, it's more TNA, like it's not just a booty cover, but you should make it an honorable mention because the artist did a really good job getting both the booty and the T in there. And I was like, you know what, that's kind of a good point. I appreciate the logic on that. Got Nice House on the Lake, 3rd printing, #1. I think I only got one of this, but I went a little bit bigger on the 2nd printing. And I went huge on #1. Like I got a lot of the variants. I feel like a lot of channels I follow prefer DC. I'll go where the good stories and good art are. I lean Marvel big time because I grew up on Marvel. But I just watched Hush, which reminded me of the story, and I actually have. If you watch a video later this week, I'll have something coming out where I just got the whole run of Hush. Spoiler alert! You get to kind of get in on that. And I really like Hush, Long Halloween, like all those really solid Batman stories. I really like Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti's run on Power Girl quite a bit. I think it's a highly underrated run. I've liked some of the Supergirl stuff over the years. Yeah, Frank Cho is great. I've been a Frank Cho fan for a long time. Frank Cho's Red Sonja covers were really good. The ones where he did like the commission sketch style covers, those were really cool. Only thing I like about Wonder Woman is the Middleton covers. Yeah, the Middleton covers are really nice. I don't think I've read. I liked. Shoot, who was it that did the? Oh, I'm totally blanking on it. Somebody, maybe it was New 52 Wonder Woman, or was it the run before that? There was a really good Wonder Woman run that was more like. It was more mythological, and I'm totally blanking on the writer. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, there's people that collect them, so you'll probably find a winner out there. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to the show. Yeah, the mirror cover was badass. I love that. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, the cool thing about comics is there's definitely people that have their niche for everybody. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a DC fan. To kind of get back to that question, I really, yeah, I probably would say it's like Marvel DC Image for me in that order, as far as like what titles I tend to enjoy. I love Punchline. I love Harley Quinn. DC has a lot of compelling female characters to me, to be honest. Yeah, I hope it pays off. For several reasons. But I got the man, I'm blanking on every name right now. Gallagher covers, the one where the woman's swimming and the hands are coming up out of the water. I got 2 sets of those, and I sent off the virgins to CGC, and I'm hoping they both come back in 9/8, in 2023. Can I get your spec on? Yeah, you've asked this question a couple times. I think they're both good, but Something Is Killing the Children is going to win out in long-term value. It's the established title. This is, again, just my opinion. And I honestly think that like that's the title that's going to gravitate towards people. But the real answer is, and it's going to depend on, I believe both of those series are going to get adapted in some form. And I know they've been optioned and all this stuff, but options don't always pan out. And even projects that get greenlit don't always make it to the screen. But I believe both of those will. And if they both do, obviously whichever one's better is going to win out. I think Something Is Killing the Children is easier to adapt. I think Department of Truth, you're going to have a lot of people into it, but are they going to feel like it's kind of too X-Files for them? Or are they going to feel like it's too political because, I don't bring up politics often on here, but conspiracy theories are kind of being politicized, to a certain extent right now. So I think that's kind of the interesting question there for me. My money would be on Something Is Killing the Children, but I think long-term, they're actually both great specs. Yeah, Jenny Frison, especially. Joelle Jones does a great job. Jenny Frison is amazing. My Frison Something Is Killing the Children #1 cover is one of my favorite comic books I own now. Yeah, it's so awesome that Age just popped in here. That's really awesome. I've been a fan of their content for a long time and really enjoyed their stuff. So I'm glad they popped in. I know I'm late to the party, but I just heard about an animated movie for Injustice: Gods Among Us. Yes, I did hear about that too. Yeah, I'm excited for that too. I think that's a cool storyline. All the dark Superman stuff is always pretty interesting. It's how you actually make Superman an interesting character. Don't at me. Yeah, and Frison is improving too. That's the thing. You're seeing a lot more full body work instead of just like portraits and stuff like that too. Yeah, they've both been picked up, but again, something being picked up does not mean we'll see it. Cool. I just want to make sure I got through all the comments here. If I've missed something or if I've ignored you somehow, please let me know. I'll circle back to you. I said I'm a big Supergirl fan, so Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, number 3. It's a cool cover. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I definitely am a DC fan too. I don't like to think of it in terms of which one's better. I just like which one's story happens to be good at the time. But I'm an X-Men fan. Like X-Men and the old school Marvel G.I. Joe series are my 2 favorite series from the past. So by default, kind of a Marvel fan. Eat the Rich, which is a book that got pushed into this order from another order, I believe, because it got delayed. And I think there's a little bit of heat on this right now, but that's also a sweet cover. Speaking of sweet covers from some of our favorite artists. Oh, and I guess I did get 2 copies of that third print. It just was lower into the order. And last but not least, I am Batman Zero. Break out the Batman voice. I'm Batman. I don't know. It's like, what do you want from me? But that's kind of a cool cover too. And I think this is supposed to be the origin of him getting into the suit, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody will probably correct me because again, I'm not current on these. Steel's regret not doing scalloped on live. Yeah, they could. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's weird, like with Invincible animated success though, I almost kind of feel like I prefer animated projects now, but that's tough. I think a lot of times too, like we get, you know, you I think you're probably 100% right, but a lot of times too, we get caught up in what's it going to be, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good or bad until we see it, right? So like I try to reserve my opinion until I actually have the content in front of me. The Injustice games, yeah, the Injustice games are pretty cool. I yeah, well, you know, I do my best. I could work on it, definitely. Politics and comics do not mix. Too many people get mad whilst being super uninformed. Yes, well, I mean that's kind of true of both those topics independently too, and then when we add them together, it's just a compounding effect. So I definitely try to steer clear of it as much as I possibly can. There are times where I talk about it just because it crosses over, like stuff going on with the economy, and that kind of gets a little political if you're not careful. But I try to avoid it. That's coming up, right? I'm pretty sure I ordered some copies of that Rose Besh cover. Eat the Rich, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, the 80s Larry Hama run is fantastic. I also really like Hama's Wolverine run quite a bit too. That goes up there. It's actually what made me like that character a lot more. Like I never, because I'm a Cyclops fan, but I'm a fan of a lot of, I'm a big Rogue fan, a big Gambit fan, and I'm a big Wolverine fan. But Wolverine always kind of took center stage in kind of later X-Men comics in a way that I didn't really, that was a little like unnecessary. It's like a team book always works better if there's a bit of a balance and you kind of like, oh, here's a focus on this character a little bit and then focus on this character and here's these characters interacting. But obviously Wolverine was super popular, so what are you going to do? Yes, I agree. It does look like that. Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm excited for that show too, because I haven't read the source material, so yeah, it's a big deal right now to invest in omnibuses. Omnibus, is that the plural? Omnibus, I think it is. So kind of caught up with the chat. I will tackle any more questions that people have. We've been live for I don't know how long, 1 hour and 11 minutes. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them out there in the chat. I do want to reiterate, so I'm going to do other shows of this. If you guys have different times later at night in different days, I'm interested in hearing about it. I'm also going to be bringing more to this show. My old nerd news segments are going to get rolled into the show. I'm going to loosely follow that late night format, only without as many guests probably at all. And I definitely will be rolling in a lot of new content, like nerd news, the bronze buy stuff. Like I won't necessarily do unboxings like here's all my FOC stuff or whatever, very often, but I might do it, some of it, it's kind of fun. People like seeing stuff. But definitely we'll do the nerd news kind of topics. I'll have some kind of creative like overlays and kind of stuff too, because I'm doing live shows. I need to make that. I wasn't doing live shows before very often. And where possible, I will definitely try to fit in, more of like the daytime streams if I can. But right now I'm thinking like 9:30 or 10 Pacific time for these streams. Mondays or Tuesdays. Tuesdays might be a night I go for. Right on. McGrill. Sean, you're a good supporter of the channel. I will wrench you up. It's the way if you don't know, the way you have to wrench somebody in YouTube is kind of ass backwards. Like you have to go to their channel page, which a lot of people don't have content on their channels, right? Like they do have channels, but they don't really have content there. So you have to go to their page, copy the link, paste it into another window, another field. So I kind of tend to do them in batches, and I will definitely try to do that, because I don't know, do we have any wrenches in here right now? I don't think we do. So I gotta make sure some of the loyal supporters that are willing to tune in for my late night stream are willing to be my mods too in here. Okay, yeah, that works too. The Longbow Hunter. Okay. Yeah, Green Arrow is kind of a comic book dead zone for me in a lot of ways. I haven't read a lot of it. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. Like I'm wearing a Kevin Smith shirt right now. It's actually a licensed Kevin Smith shirt. I have issues. One of my favorite shirts. And I haven't read Kevin Smith's run on Green Arrow. Ooh, hey, there you go. You got a wrench. See, you can quit whining now. Just kidding, Sean. My gut is, maybe you don't like my answer. I don't know, but my gut is Something Is Killing the Children is going to be more successful. I think it's going to, think about how many shows there are there's all these, like, I don't know them all, right? Like my wife watches a lot of them on Netflix. There's like all these like European shows where like kids are getting killed and there's like some serial killer and they have to go after the serial killer. Okay, those are popular. You take that and you mix it with that monster Walking Dead kind of, that's not really a great comparison, but that kind of adult, mature, bloody, violent thing, and a compelling character like Erica Slaughter. I think that's your ticket right there. Department of Truth has a chance to be a very cerebral show that has kind of like a complex plot, where Something Is Killing Children is more straightforward. There's not a lot of multiple layers you have to kind of keep track of or whatever, multiple threads or anything like that. And Department of Truth kind of has that a little bit. So it has a chance to be a more complex show, but my money is on Something Is Killing Children being the more popular. And my bias in that, and I will admit that, is that I enjoy Something Is Killing Children more. So maybe that's what plays into that. I really like Department of Truth though. I do. I'm not caught up on Department of Truth. I think I made it through like issue 7 or 8. I know we're up to like what, 11 or 12 or something right now. So my opinion on that could change. Yeah, you'll get one, man. And you got yours right there. That's good. Do I watch Titans? I haven't started watching Titans. I probably will. I have it ready to go. I actually really enjoyed season 1 of Stargirl, talking about those DC streaming service shows. And I'm willing to give season 2 a shot. Like I was worried that was just gonna be a total CW show, which is kind of funny because now it is a CW show. And it actually was pretty good. Like I really enjoyed like Luke Wilson in that. And I thought the writing was just this side of cheesy in Stargirl. Titans, I've heard is maybe a little similar. I don't know if people agree with that or not, but I'm interested. It would be like, which is better, Walking Dead or X-Files? Well, I think to clarify, or are you saying like that's the comparison for those two shows? Maybe that's what you're saying. But yeah, it's to me, it's going to be, and I don't think those are really one-to-one. Like I think Department of Truth gets compared to X-Files a lot, and I know I've said that, but I don't know that it's really it's different though too, because you add in the kind of what you think is what you make the world kind of thing. So that's definitely, yeah, Fringe might be a better comparison. But yes, it's a tough question to me. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think Something's Killing Children is the winner to any of those questions in a 1-for-1. But the real answer is I think they're both going to be great. And I hope they both are great, both for speculation and for just for fans. And I always want a project, like even comic books I don't generally like, and it's like a movie or TV show's coming up, I'm like, oh shit, I hope it's great, because who's going to lose in that scenario? Titans is great. New season of Doom Patrol is coming very soon. That's definitely one of my favorite shows. I watched season 1 of Doom Patrol and I really liked it. I will definitely keep watching. I am excited about Brendan Fraser's new phase in his career. I'm a old school Brendan Fraser fan from back in the day, with The Mummy and Blast from the Past and Encino Man and just tons of stuff. Like, I really enjoyed it when he showed up in G.I. Joe, and I did not enjoy G.I. Joe, but he made an appearance in there that was really cool. Okay, cool. Sounds like maybe I got you an answer that might keep you going for a while. I know that's a topic you're certainly interested in. I want your take though. Like, I want to know what you think about it, GT. You tell me sometime, okay? Yes, I know somebody who's a mega Batman fan that kind of works in both the video game industry and comic books, more tangentially, but has worked for like Marvel and worked in the video game industry and stuff. That is a massive Batman fan and is a huge fan of that, so I really trust his opinion. I'm gonna go back and play those. I have them through Game Pass on Xbox, and I should definitely play them. Just game time is very limited for me. Like, as limited as YouTube time is for me, game time is even more limited, unless it's something I can play in front of my daughter, which I guess the Telltale games, are they bloody at all? Are they violent? Because she likes Batman. Maybe that might work. But the thing is, there's a lot of like, the Telltale games always have like those button prompt things, and like if I'm distracted for a second, it's nice to be able to put the controller down when I'm watching her. I don't like to game in front of her too much. I'm with you regarding Something's Killing Children. I'm drawn to it for the story first and foremost. And you know what's funny is if I try to explain the story of Something's Killing Children, I can't really like do it justice, like why it grips me. Because it's not really that complicated. It's not, like secret society, monsters killing kids, only kids can see them, and in a few other circumstances. It kind of reminds me though of like, I guess, do you guys remember the Luna brothers? I don't think they've really done much recently. But it reminds me of that a little bit, like what they did Girls, they did Sword. It's kind of like this really simple universe. It revolves around one town or one character or one kind of flow of events. And I think that's kind of maybe what I like about it, is it just kind of nails what it's doing very well. Third season of Doom Patrol's next. You got a lot to watch. Okay. Well, I just finished season 10 of The Walking Dead, which is a show I didn't think I was going to return to after it kind of went off the rails for me. But I enjoy that they seem like they might be getting closer to the comic books again. They're kind of violent. Okay, so it might take me a while to get to those, but I've been meaning to play them for a while. I think I bounced off the Telltale games after Wolf Among Us, which I really loved. Just I got kind of tired of that format a little bit. I never even played the Borderlands game, and I heard that was really good. The Telltale Borderlands game. A Department of Truth book that kind of went under the radar. Number 2, 1 in 10. It was overshadowed by number 2, 1 in 25. Baby cover. It's the first appearance of Starface Man. So is the 1 in 10 the cover appearance of Starface Man? Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I heard the news. I'm not familiar with it, but I heard the news. My gaming time is so limited, guys. Like I've been playing. So if you want to know, I've been playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm pretty close to the end of Mass Effect 1. And I picked it up. It was on sale, so it's not like I got it when it first came out or anything like that. But I did not catch the first season of Superman and Lois. I heard really good things. I know fans are diehard. It came out at a time where just like you're saying, like I super bounced off the CW shows. Like I was a loyal fan of Arrow and The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, specifically. And then I just I feel like Flash, obviously Arrow wrapped up, and I didn't really like the last couple seasons of Arrow and Flash. I like the Kevin Smith episodes, and I'm not a big fan of anything Kevin Smith's done in a while. I'm a Kevin Smith fan, but not of his recent stuff, except the episodes he did of Flash. So you think DOT has more legs, TV show to TV show? Okay, that's good to know. There's certainly, on a long enough timeline, I feel like there's more stories they could do for Department of Truth. So I think I see what you're saying. I see your perspective. But I also think if a first season of a show isn't successful, it's not going to stick around. So, I mean, you see this all the time. Like Netflix is always canceling a show after season 2. Yeah, that definitely used to be true for me, Larissa. I used to work in the video game industry in a couple different ways. I worked as a QA tester, primarily on Master Chief Collection for Halo, the redo basically, and then I worked for GameStop for 5 years as a store manager. So a lot of video game love in my heart. I like the first season a lot. Maybe even the first 2 seasons, but it's just like it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse as it went along. Yeah, he's a good looking guy. Absolutely. That's a good looking dude. I think his acting range is rather limited, but he's a good looking guy for sure. Cool. So yeah, again, if you guys have more questions or topics you want to talk about, I am here for you for a little bit longer, but I'm probably going to wrap up pretty soon. Try to keep it down to about an hour and a half or so. Yeah, what was the coolest book I got? What did you guys like the most? And then I'll kind of do a preview here. So, I'm trying to do 3 things a week. The first thing I'm usually trying to do is this live show now on Mondays or maybe Tuesdays. And then like after this is done, I'm probably going to film a video actually. For my like pre-recorded stuff in the middle of the week. This week, I got a huge shipment of comic books that Hulk Nuts on Instagram. I've been having him hold a lot of stuff for me. I was waiting some stuff to come back from CGC. I got a huge shipment in from him. So I'm probably going to do a rare episode of Bronze Buys on Wednesday that you guys will check out. And then Friday, I'll probably do like another top 5 not to buy this week. Hey, Michael McComb in the house. What's up, Michael? Thanks for joining us. Doing a late night stream here. I appreciate you popping in. If you're not familiar with Michael McComb, he is a fantastic artist. Definitely go check out his work. I'm actually currently waiting on a cover he just did for Economics and Comics, a exclusive of Jessica Rabbit, which is a favorite character of mine. So I was very happy to pick up that cover. I went with the nice version personally because I was a fan of just the iconic dress and everything. So definitely cool. What happens to the comic book series if the TV show stiffs? Well, it's a tough question, but by the time that show really gets rolling, Tinian could end that comic book at a certain point. Like if he's focusing on Substack, he might wrap it up at a stopping point and then come back to it later. And then the show might keep running with their own original stories after that. Yeah, if you're not familiar, Michael McComb is known as Pool Boy in certain sectors of the internet. What does Kevin Smith call the CW? The Shirtless Boy Network or something? Yeah. And I mean, well, and not even that too. It's just the attractive people network, right? Like they have like all the female cast, all the male cast. Like you got to be ridiculously good looking, and for the most part, to be on one of those shows, or you're playing somebody's parent, and even then, you're probably somebody who's on the end of being good looking most of your career, like a Paul Blackthorne type or something like that. Yeah, it was a great silk cover. I appreciate that. Michael McComb in the house. I'm glad he could join us. That's awesome. Got the dolphin emojis running. Kind of in joke there. Yep, waiting for silk to pop for sure. So what does everybody think? Olivia Wilde is attached to some type of Spider-Woman project. Do people think it's Silk or do people think it's Spider-Woman? Let me hear what your thoughts are in the chat. Nice, like statues and figures and stuff, or what do you got going on? Absolutely, that Jessica cover is fire. It's a really cool cover. Um, so that is awesome. But yeah, so that's kind of what I got going on this week. Going to try to do rare episode of Bronze Buys. I haven't done one of those in a while. I was doing that kind of to get some recording stuff under my belt and try to figure out stuff like multicam setups and I thought it was kind of cool to like have like the top down cam and show the comics and stuff like that. But I kind of moved away from the format because I wanted to talk about a lot of different stuff and not just show off comics only. And I feel like I can roll that into this show. I love Supernatural. Yeah, I actually didn't finish Supernatural. I think I stopped watching after the Leviathan stuff. But I do want to go back and finish it up. But yeah, I did like that. I mean, I liked a lot of the CW stuff. I liked, it finished CW, but Buffy, all that, Angel, I liked all that stuff too, like old school CW. But I think I was talking about this with Sean one night. My as a parent, right? My time for viewing content or absorbing content or video games or whatever, especially the way my schedule works out with my wife and everything. So I just don't have the time for that content. So as your free time becomes a more valuable resource, a lot of those long 20 episode seasons of those TV shows, like if they're not real good, I'm gonna cut you off. Supernatural, I love the characters. I feel like the show started to slip after a while, so I kind of bounced off of it. Silver Sable, yeah, could be Silver Sable too. I suspect it's where I think we're gonna get the OG Spider-Woman in the house is my guess, but I'm curious what people do have to think about that. Yeah, I love watching Billy and Michael do their streams and stuff. It's great. I was proud to be part of one of them one day that probably nobody saw on Twitch. I think there was like literally just like 4 of us were in the stream, and I think we were all watching. Like 2 people joined in at the end. That was really cool. And then I was proud to be part of the comic community show too that Economics and Comics did. That was really fun too, and Michael was on there as well. So that was really cool. I really appreciated those times. Play art stuff is cool. McFarlane toys, nice. Yeah, I'm a big action figure fan. Most of my stuff's displayed, so I don't like to take it down. But I just got the Henry Cavill McFarlane Superman. Found that for retail or slightly less than retail, so that was awesome. So I'm a big fan of that. I mostly do Marvel Legends, but I definitely I do Lego Marvel Legends. And the G.I. Joe Classified series now when I can find all that stuff. I just generally enjoy the 6-inch stuff. But I also do have some Transformers and Halo Mega Constructs and Lego Star Wars minifigures and a whole fuck ton of Marvel Legends ahead of me here. So thanks a lot, GT. I really appreciate it. Sorry if I gave you a hard time about your questions too. I was being a little tongue-in-cheek, but I really appreciate it. I'm glad some people jumped in here. Hopefully some people catch us on the replay too. Yeah, that would be very cool. That would be very cool. Nice. Yeah, he's a good time. I really enjoy watching Billy's stuff. There's very few YouTube channels I regularly watch, and again, it's that time thing. It's not like I don't want to hate on other channels. Economics and Comics is one of them. I really like Scaff. I really like Journos. And there's more for sure, but I like to catch those shows quite a bit. Black Cat is one of my favorite characters. I love the attitude. I like Black Cat more than Catwoman, just saying. Personally, I know they're very similar type of characters, obviously, but I really like Black Cat. I want to see Black Cat in a Spider-Man movie though. That's my goal. Awesome. I'm glad that people generally like it. Hopefully we can do this more. Fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah, I really like, to have a little plastic Henry Cavill, my life is now complete. We're just doing some errands in town. Like I live in the country, so we had to drive into town. I was running some errands. I ran into a GameStop. I was like, I just want to run in here real fast. You guys don't have to come in. You can just wait in the car. I'll be in there for 5 minutes. I came out. I think she saw, me holding something in his car. Like, oh, fuck. And I was like, relax. It's a little plastic Henry Cavill. and she was like okay with it. So that's pretty cool. And then the first thing she said after that was, oh, well, I think we need Yennefer now or something like that. Or I think I said I want Yennefer and she agreed. Maybe I'm rewriting history there a little bit. Yeah, these DC stands. So these come with the figure. They're not easy for me to get any down, but I actually have, if you look them up, there's Obitsu, Obitsu stands that are really good if you like the small, if you like a small round, guys, you know what I'm saying? If you like a small round hole, no, if you like a small round base, those are really great for single figures, especially for flight or for high up, you know, kind of poses. And then I have a ton. Here's the easiest one to get to. Kind of. I have a ton of these Hasbro stands. These are pretty cool. So yeah, I got Deadpool on that one. And there's 9 holes. What am I? That's a golf joke? I don't know. What am I talking about? There's 9 holes you can stick it in, just like a brothel. And there's a couple pegs. So I won't pick them up, but I have several displays here, like with G.I. Joe characters, where there's like G.I. Joe characters kneeling down or whatever, and then a character like jumping or flying or something like that. And then you have this post that a character can get all the way up on. It adjusts. And then there's also, I just can't grab any of those, it's too hard. There's also an arm that comes out from this, like maybe that far. And then you can put the little peg on too. These are really cool. You get 3 of them for $15 from Hasbro Pulse. .com. Not a sponsor. And yeah, I picked up a few of those. And I'm so excited. Last thing I'll say, and I'm gonna jump off here pretty soon. They announced the HasLab Sentinels are shipping soon. They're like 26-inch tall Hasbro Marvel Legends Sentinels that are super cool with like multiple heads and like tendrils and shit. Like a little Wolverine, like it's basically to scale with the 6-inch Marvel Legends. Basically, they're gonna ship those probably like late September, early October. I am totally gonna do a video on that. I'm super excited about it. Yeah, I got a lot that are in bins and shit. Like I just can't display them all, but I pick them up when they're on sale mostly. The Stormtrooper Sideshow stuff's awesome. I would love to get the whole statue thing, but every time I look at Sideshow or big statues or whatever, it's like I see how many comic books that could be, and I just never have that much money at once that I'm willing to devote to something. Oh, that's cool. Awesome. So are they just in their regular outfits, or are they in special like variants of the outfits? Yeah, Black Cat is awesome too. Yeah, I love Stormtroopers. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. Happy Monday to you as well. Getting tongue tied here at the end. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, it's funny. Most people were extremely positive about that, and then I got some kind of late comments coming in. Actually, I saw them before the stream, and so I didn't have a chance to reply to them. I think one of the people was actually in here, or maybe still is in here. But I probably will address those comments too. Generally, if you're a small YouTuber or small streamer, I wasn't really directing that video at you, just so you know. And I mean, I was obviously directing it at the major. Oh, I shouldn't say obviously. I was trying to direct it at the major lists. No, I just don't have the scratch. It's a little bit more expensive than the Sentinel was, and I'd love to. It would be amazing. But also, like, if I'm gonna have this huge Sentinel somewhere, I have no idea where I'm gonna put a Galactus, and it's just the price. 9 holes. I mean, it's a lot of holes. It's a lot of holes. That's all I'm saying, guys. Think about the possibilities. I don't have 9 things to put in holes. Wait, I guess I do. Anyways, oh my gosh, we got Billy in the house, guys. Billy is here. He's talking mad smack to Michael McComb over here. It's funny that you say he has a medium weenus, because, by the way, everybody, you know this is the weenus, right? Like, that's the weenus. fine having medium weenus. But no, it's funny you say that because my name everywhere, it used to be Medium Pimpin'. I thought that was a really funny name. I had a sticker on my Volkswagen Bug that said Medium Pimpin'. So I went by that name and I thought that was really funny. So that just reminded me of that. They come with these voice boxes with variant catchphrases. That's really cool. That's awesome. I need to sell some stuff. Absolutely. I'm gonna, to be honest, SG, I don't know if you checked out my Instagram feed, but I did throw up a bunch of stuff a few weeks ago. It didn't do very well. I don't have a very big Instagram account or anything else for that matter. But they didn't do very well. Like I hashtagged them up and everything. So I'm going to be doing a lot of eBay here soon to sell stuff. I almost could support an auction. Like I got to be honest though, like as a seller, if you only have, we've got 18 people in here now. I think we had like 20 or something at once or whatever, which is awesome, by the way. But if there's only 20 people in my auction and only like one person's bidding on it and I started out, well, I mean, that comic's going to go for way less than it should be. I'd love to do auctions. I just don't know if I'm big enough to support auctions. Just some other jokes in there. But yeah, another claim sale. That was interesting. I mean, like I definitely would be interested in trying it again, but since you guys are asking for it, maybe it's something I'll look at. What color was it? Was it a blue one? Green one? You live in the right neck of the woods. Do it now. Do it now. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, if it gets back. Cause I mean, people that are interested in it are looking at it now. Yeah. That's mini me, right? Did I personally, are you asking me? Yes, I actually did a video kind of the day or two after that kind of buzz broke, if you will, or whatever. I did a video where I unboxed a few of them. And it's the people wondering, did you get anything cool? And I got a X-Men Red #1 in 500, and I got a Black Cape store exclusive in one of my packs as well. So yes. And then on my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, I actually did a pack break on one of those, and I gave that away. I unboxed it live and said, hey, this is it's gonna be part of the giveaway for the next giveaway I do. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything super cool in that one, but Eddie's mullet won that one. Congratulations to him. Hopefully he watches this on the replay. We'll see if he's a real fan or not. Okay, so we got to watch Instagram after the show. So after the show's over, which I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon, guys, check out Economics and Comics over on Instagram. You missed all your unboxings, Eddie. Eddie. See, I'm tired. Billy. Yeah, I mean, that's the trick, right? But I just, hopefully if I pick the right time and I don't have much competition, maybe it would draw more people into my channel too. Maybe I'll be strategic about what I bring into that auction too. Yeah, absolutely. UFOMO. That's funny. Yeah, I heard that. There's somebody else I was talking to that said they don't sell like in SoCal basically, and even like San Fran and stuff, which is weird. Aw, honeymoon's over, guys. So yeah, probably gonna end the stream soon. Nobody else was throwing any questions out there. We've been on for about an hour and 41 minutes. Again, the show is going to change formats a little bit. I'll be seeing you next week. Probably I'll do Monday night again, probably either 9:30 or 10 p.m. and I'll try to post it up a couple days before the show starts. I do want to say that I appreciate everybody that came in here today. It was really awesome. Like I said, I was worried this was going to be just me talking to an empty room, which is fine. I still would have done it, and people can catch on the replay. If you're watching us on the replay, thank you for clicking on that. I know not everybody can make it to a stream that's this late, especially on a weeknight and all that kind of stuff. I realize that it's kind of a weird thing I'm doing, but it works for my schedule. So I'm going to create the audience for it, and you guys are helping, and I really appreciate that. So with that, we will end the show. I'm glad that it's been a great time and a great show and perfect time for you. That is fantastic. I'm very appreciative of all you guys for stopping in. And with that, I will say, as always, hey, 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 hey. read comics every day. Have a great night, everybody, and I will catch you on the next show.